Well, first it's hi. A little bit of a change. I'm going to be doing what is this thing called? Lost Ark. I'm going to be doing Lost Ark today. Oh goodness, cannot speak. Um, about item. Oh, that's interesting. So a couple of these I just haven't used. These little maps, so I'm gonna get that. And plus, I already had the game loaded because I was getting my login thing, and Minecraft takes almost as long as Lost Ark to load these days. So I figured since I was already here, we're gonna do this. Oh, that is well read. Oh, that's a nice update. Also, apparently you can hear me typing while I'm in the game, and I apologize for that. But alrighty, yeah, 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 yeah. Where's those milk cocoa? Ah! I have not played my little Deathwalker. Oh, she is Deathblade. I haven't played my little slice and dice up in a while, so I'm touch rusty. Uh, my paladin is currently in another area, and I just do not feel like, and I can't swap maps anyhow. So it's just a matter of tidying this up. Oh my goodness, not good. Ah. Ooh, I did this one before. Any upgrades? No. I think that's this one, yeah. And then I cut down this one. That did not take nearly as long. I don't know these being having color options. I don't know. I also heard a rumor there's supposed to be a new class, but I haven't seen that yet. And I don't know if I have to buy an expansion or anything. Yes, you did. Absolutely no research into that. Except, come on, let me leave. Ow. Oh, I did get cut. I got an order of plants in today that very specifically on all sides says live plants do not place in sun, and the delivery person put it right in direct sunlight. I got fortunate that I happened to see it. I didn't see the delivery itself, but I happened to see the box up front. Ah, they moved it. That. Those are two different places. One is there. Only one way mark. Yeah, I'll be a little bit shorter. Oh. Oh well. But yeah, so fortunately, again, I did find my plants package. I just happened to wander up front and see it, and yeah, so hopefully nothing will die. They shipping was really rough on plants this time, like really absurdly rough. One plant was tipped completely on its side, and then some others were just ugh, everything was shifted. So it's just a bit of unfortunate that the plants got beat up. Hopefully No, that's my. Hopefully, it'll just, nothing bad will have happened to them, and I'll be fine. I forgot what a couple of my plants are. I didn't recognize the leaves, but yeah. So I got some echinacea. That's supposed to be a very nice little orangey color. And then I have 3 ground covers that I got because I very much like to not have grass in my yard anymore. Mostly because it's absolutely perfect. Not the grass. Well, there's that whole grass versus wildflower stuff. I'm not even referring to that. My lawn is mostly invasive crabgrass, where it does grow, and also there are bulbs everywhere, which you can't see and are mostly smothered by other things. So hopefully, if these 3 items are A, aggressive enough, and B, if they survive the winter, which they're supposed to. They're supposed to be good till zone 4. So 1 is obviously planned. I'm going to stick in a relatively sheltered area. And then the others, I'm just going to, stick in a couple of different areas, probably nearby, just to try and get to slowly take over everything. Mostly because I don't want to have grass to cut. Yeah, it's just, I don't like the maintenance for grass. It's just not my jam. So there is that. I'm in the wrong spot. Why do I have to say I'm in the wrong spot? I am. But yeah, so I just want to get some of that done. Also, these are supposed to have edible berries, so hopefully they're not only edible berries, but tasty edible berries. Supposed to be. Oh, not too far off. I see where I went. But yeah, so plant plans or something. Yeah. Where do I get this? I did. Battleground Plains. I am not in Battleground Plains. That would be 99% of my problem. Battleground Plains. Yeah. I thought I knew where that was. How old is that? Why not? Okay, so I was pretty far off. Not super far off, but far off enough. One other thing, real itsy bitsy quick. Alrighty. There we go. That's where I need to go. Cool. Alrighty. Oops, sorry, just texting. Just text my friend. I think autocorrect's got some kind of an update. I think, I don't know for certain. Don't quote me on that, but it just makes me think that because I've been getting so many weird things for autocorrect that normally didn't happen. I don't know what the word was, but something. Never mind. But yeah, I forget what the word was, but it just gave me a completely random word that had nothing to do. Maybe had one letter in similar, but it just was stupid. Okay. There we go. Sorry, my allergies are going a bit crazy. Alright. What on earth? I have not seen this. What? Rude. I want to see what it looks like. Map makers here have done a good job. It would be nice to let me see everything. Oh my goodness. That's scaly book. That's a very scaly book. This is not looking after I wanted it to. Goodbye. Still not the worst. These things even worth any experience? No. There's gotta be some Mokokos in here, but I don't know where to search. Anyhow, I have to harvest stuff. Alrighty. Yay! 2 things out of my inventory. I have to look up that first. Alright, map time. I need... Really? Where's copper ore? It's nothing. I need to harvest. I don't know if I ever got this guy. Probably, but might as well. Completion stuff. Ooh. Okay, yay, I did not get it before. Excellent. Yeah, I'm at a point where with my homestead, stronghold, there we go, that I can start getting some really nice upgrades. Nice enough. But they all require, excuse me, just that generic iron ore. So, yeah. Gotta work on that a little bit. And again, my paladin is not exactly in any places that are convenient for mining right now. I need to try another game. I mean, I'm getting a little burned out on the Minecraft, and I don't want to get burned out on Minecraft, but I do want to play another sandbox building game. I just do bad under stress. Really? For harvesting down here. Anyhow, yeah. Trying to look into a game because I like this a little bit of survival, but I really don't like that everything hinges on this. It's a touch too stressful. Just a touch. Yeah, so I have to start looking into some peaceful, happy things to try playing. Stardew Valley gives me a little bit too much stress, but it's not quite what I'm looking for at this point. I would do Frostpunk. I would really love to do Frostpunk. I know Frostpunk is way too stressful for me. There's nothing that part of me wants to get a little bit more back into well, I do want to get into ESO and play the that sample game. Not sample. The preview stuff. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Because they are doing a preview for their new expansion thingy. Actually, part of me really wants to be sadistic and go back to EverQuest for a little bit. But that I'd have to pay. I would definitely have to pay for the at least for 1 month, just so that I can have the full space. I think I lost all my gear on that one. That's the other reason I don't want to go back to EverQuest right now, because they took away the 2 bottom slots of your inventory and made that pay only, which was an absolute horrible move because that's the slots that everyone stores their stuff in. And while, I mean, it's a horrible move simply because all the people they were trying to encourage to return lost all their very hard to get stuff that they spent, that like the deep players as old as me spent years collecting. So that was very stressful, because that's where we all stored our stuff in the last 2. And I'm sure someone thought it was a good idea. Oh, we'll force them to. Well, the thing is, even when you pay for it, it doesn't unlock those slots. They had already sent your items to another character that will delete it in like 30 days or something. So people are still losing stuff, which is very, very stressful. Because again, EverQuest was a very hard game back in the day. For the longest time, if you died in that game, your stuff would stay on your character's corpse, not be respawned with you. So, like, even when World of Warcraft came out, and that was still the case. I think World of Warcraft did that. I don't know. Either World of Warcraft or what was the other game? There's another game that came out at the same time that, like, I mean, other than EQ2, which came out after those 2, but either way, it wasn't until much later that they finally figured out how to let your character respawn, die, but still have the gear. And I think that was also a thing that I know they did that in EQ2 for a while. They had it so if you died, you didn't have your equipment with you when you respawned, so you had to hunt down your body. Yeah. That was one of those things they eventually changed, fortunately. But yeah, it's so funny. Me and my guild leader, we were talking one time with someone who had never played EverQuest. So we were telling him, and we were having fun talking, because, to us, it was fun memories. Until we really, really got talking about it, and then discovered that, yeah, this was a really hard game. No wonder we don't, like, there were some aspects, we were playing Guild Wars 2 at the time. Like, there were some aspects of Guild Wars 2 that just did not bother us at all. And I think that's what brought it up. So we were just like, la-di-da, this isn't as bad as it could be. But, I think we were talking about jumping puzzles and something else. I hate jumping puzzles, by the way. But yeah, so we were talking about this and all these horrifying, and we're like, oh, remember when we had to do this, and you could lose? And they're like, this is a horrifying game. And we're like, yeah, I guess so. And then later point of the same conversation, someone else logged into the TeamSpeak, and they're like, hey, blah, blah, it's not that bad. And we were all like kind of paused, and we're like, did you happen to play EverQuest? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yep, there we go. That's why. So yeah, EverQuest somehow magically got us a thicker skin for some things. What is this? Slot extension. Can get that? Unlock stronghold. Take one of them. Development. The stronghold is slightly. Be the new. I don't. Does it do anything? Structure effects. Oh, I need more of that. Yeah, that's not good. Players are happy. Secure site. Installations. That's not what I want. I want this. Dispatch station level 3. Am I not high enough level for it? Station level 3. Search. Locked. Not high enough. Get the stronghold level up. I have to. Okay. Oops. Available research. Get rid of that. Oops. And I've only got 10 minutes left. Okay. Yeah. That's not what I want. There we go. Oh, 10-ish minutes. Okay. Oh, I didn't post to Twitter. Oh well. Alrighty, let's. Not Twitter. Tumblr. This takes 12, and this will be 12 hours. How much is it? Required energy, yada yada. These are just a couple of hours each. Technically, I could do all 4 of these, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000-ish. It's about the same. I'm just gonna do this one. But wait, there's more. Oh dear. Another one. Because I just remembered I have multiple slots. I should have done 2 of the other ones. Oh well, whatever. That'll get me the most. This will get me the most experience-wise thing. Yeah, do this, get that one going, and just crank out a couple of the smaller ones. Eventually, grab these. I'm going to have to farm more. Let's see. Alright. Well. Actually, let's use that sale. Coin. Outfit. Crew application form. I do not own you. I do not have enough to own you. Crew application form. White wind. Okay, let's see. We'll go back and farm. Cool. It's working out better than expected. Somehow. I don't know how. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I miss my bards so much from Evercross. Like, I could just run around and explore, and I was faster than everything. Well, pretty much faster than everything. So I could just escape if things got way too dangerous, which was wonderful. But now, nothing else has really had that. Those, like, kind of dynamics. Like, first, for abilities. We could hit things, yeah, sure, whatever. There's no weapon abilities, yada yada, like what you think of. Like, warriors had them, bards did not. Like, technically, I had kick. You know, a tiny baby ability to maybe kick. Um, and I could hit things sort of, but the best thing, it was the songs, and you would tap the song to cast it, tap it again to stop casting it or singing it, and you'd have to do that for each song. It had delay. It was fun. It kept me busy. For my ADHD, it was beautiful because I could do that, be doing all that, focusing on that, but still I could have conversations. And somehow I was a really fast typer. I mean, like ridiculously fast at typing at that point because I had to type in between the little bar counting down. You can do that. Really don't get it. This is such a scam. This is a scam. Because for this, everyone wants to get like this, but you have to pay in order to get the that. Or you just get that, which doesn't really make it worth it. Okay, here's a amount. Okay, that's better. Blueprints, that's good. Let's see. Currency. No one cares about currency. I don't think anyone cares about currency. Honing stones. Whatever this is. Oh, legendary card. Great. But here's a pet. Here's this like. Like this is very obviously a money grab. Like if it was a little bit easier to get all the experience to get those things, then I might consider it. Like I am briefly considering it right now. But I would not purchase it until after I'd already, gotten the experience or whatever, built up to get those particular items. I would not just say, oh, here you go, on the off chance I may or may not get those. No, I'm not going to drop for a maybe, cash for a maybe. I will, if I get to that point, I would get it and then go back and collect. But it hasn't exactly had anything inspiring me on the free side to earn that, let alone on the book. Like, get these stones. I'm sure someone understands what these stones are for, but the stones are just not. Whatever. What level is this character? This character is level 33.9. Level up. This might be slightly less annoying. Alright, let's try going there. Sorry, eating lunch, but it's just me. Games just are not grabbing my attention. Like, I know, I understand feeding the ADHD is not a good thing. Making games addictive is not a good thing, but it's just, I will admit, I used EverQuest to kind of control the ADHD. I got burned out with EverQuest, though. I cannot grind. I also can't group. I hate grouping. Grouping with random people just, no. I just had such bad luck. But, it's just, oh gosh, it's so annoying. yeah, I don't even know how to phrase it. It's like there's nothing that hooks me in with an interest of okay, I need to do this, this, and this, so then I'll play this or be free to play this, use this as a reward. It's just this game doesn't have that for me. EverQuest did, but yeah, that was. Yeah, I did try to get back into EverQuest. Unfortunately, it seems more well, not group oriented. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, but yeah, EverQuest are just. Oh, they didn't. No, they didn't. Um, because it was so, I guess you could say, rage-inducing for some of the mistakes, and you actually had to be careful with a lot of stuff. It made it more interesting for me. Like, I liked being able to take my character, my forever low-level character, take all of her gear off that was hard to get a cheap drum and a cheap flute, and go snooping around looking for, just exploring new zones that are super high level. Um, because I used to get in so much trouble for that. Like it was fun for me, and I could explore and just sneak around. Because if I died, I was already low enough level. I didn't care about the lost experience. All the songs that I needed were low enough level. What was that? That it didn't impress me much, for lack of a better phrase. So I could just run around. I mean, there were plenty of times, apparently more than I thought. My guild leader apparently would occasionally get messages asking her if she knew where her bard was, because I would be in like super high. We got two guild members that way because they were trapped in one area and needed to see if a mob train was dissipated yet. So I just walked in and checked. I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll check. And by the time they're asking me if, like, trying to figure out what happened, I was already back at that zone from after I died, and I had already zipped back, and I was like, hello. And then, so bards were a little notorious for doing things like that. So I was just like, yeah, no big deal. But then they were like, yeah, I was like, where are you trying to go? And they're like, oh, here. I'm like, oh, I know where that is. I can take you there. And they're like, because I was, what was I? Was I 55? No, I wasn't 55 yet. It's just usually in that game, if you saw a low level character, they are either a newbie, or power leveled and just didn't have any experience. No one really realized that I had been playing for like 10 years and I just didn't care about leveling up. I just had no interest in it. I liked exploring. So my guild leader, I would walk, I knew all this stuff and knew how to play my character. And they were like, question mark. And that's when I took them was taking them to the zone, because we had to go invisible and levitate. Two songs which I did have that stacked with my speed. This isn't going to respawn, is it? But so as I'm just walking them through, they're like, apparently sent a message to my guild leader going, "Hey, do you know where your bard is?" And B, um, I don't know what there was another part of it. I guess they're doing a thing and they mentioned it to me, and I was like, oh, I think my guild leader was interested in doing that or something. You know, they didn't tell me that they had messaged her. Oh no, she just ran. When we got her to the place, she was already there, and I was like, "Oh, hi. I was just talking about you." And they played off like years before she actually told me they had sent her a message asking um, about that, because we played it up like, "Oh, Lil Bard, what are you doing here?" type thing. It was fun. But yeah, so yeah, we would have fun. Me going into higher level zones and scoping it out. It actually turned out good, because I again, I was just so low level. in that other game, I could just randomly run in and body track because again, if you got your body back, you could resurrect with it and get experience. That was another thing. You could lose like half a level of experience by dying in EverQuest. It was a hard game, so I would be able to go run around, without my gear, finding people's bodies and bringing it to the zone line so they could get a resurrection, or um, pulling mobs away from where bodies were if I couldn't get to it, but they could and they didn't care, then I could just like train all the mobs to the opposite level side of the zone. Um, it was so funny. Like that only happened occasionally. They actually had me pulling mobs when my guild leader figured out how she could trick me into grouping. Um, then we would group and I would just pull mobs to them because I I just lost the least amount of experience because I just didn't care. It would take like an hour of power level grouping, which is me casting an AoE spell just so I can quote unquote hit the mob once so I can actually get credit for it. But then it would split up between the group. Or if it was just me, there was a far more complicated and efficient way of power leveling. But it's just it was worth it for having a low level character who could just run around and do these not impossible things, but impossible for a higher level character to do. It was fun. I miss those days. Oh, there's something else that I think. Oh yeah, my guild leader also religiously, anytime we were near each other in the zone, like usually when we were grouped, she would have me targeted unless it went power leveling or just have curiosity to see what I was up to. But the joke is she did that because twice while we were grouped, my character drowned because the water breathing expired, and she was the one casting it on me, and we had both forgotten, and we were like, "Why am I dying? Why am I?" And then I died. She was like, "Oh no!" So that happened twice in one group session. So that was the big joke that she killed the bard. Um, but yeah, it was so much fun. Like one time, like a little bit after that, we had gone on a raid, and I was shocking the lowest level character there. But with the group, I was with the cleric, the only cleric, and we were just chilling and stuff. And then everyone disappeared. Oops, damn. Sorry about that. But yeah, so one time with that raid, so me being the lowest level, the other guild that we were with, they're like, "Are you sure?" Dot dot dot. It was like a very lower level raid zone, but I was still lower. I was level 55, I think. Yeah, at this point I was level 55, so I could group up with. That was like the minimum you could be to group with the higher level and max level characters. So yeah, we were there. She's like, yeah, no, she's been playing for a few. She knows what she's doing. So we're there, and my cleric in the group, the only cleric, decides of the raid, decides to camp. Where a mob spawned, a giant that I couldn't kill. That are, oh, we have these characters. Oh, your rest of your group will take it. We're watching. Okay, sure. So they go AFK, and then all of a sudden, the rest of the group ninja AFKs. I think one said they were going AFK, and the other two just walked away and were doing stuff because the raid was taking a while. But it's like I was by myself, and no one was paying attention. I'm like, okay, well, and I'm watching this because I was like, I knew about how long it would be. I'm like, oh, please be back, please be back. But no, of course not. So the giant spawns, and on the cleric and starts beating on the cleric. And there's me. trying to get its attention. I can't hit it. Uh, I was too low level. It was missing, and it wouldn't pull enough aggro anyhow. So fortunately, I had a mesmerizing song, and I just had never had time to memorize it. So I memorized the song, scribed, scribed the song into my songbook, memorized the song, and then started working up my skill to be able to successfully cast this onto the giant. Fortunately, this happened before the cleric died. I think they had like 2 bars of health left, like 2/5 of their health. But this giant was like taking out chunks of health as it hit them, like little bits because they're high level and had shielding. Me, on the other hand, I was squishy. So the mechanics with this song is once you mez it, the mesmerize breaks on it, they focus on you. You are top aggro. Um, Tiny little squishy bard was top aggro because I had to get, if the cleric died, it was like an hour to get back to where we were running, and they had not found themselves anywhere closer. So that was the big thing. So I get this thing mezzed for a few seconds because I had an instrument to help me. So I get it for a few seconds. I don't know what to do. At that point I was just like panicking. So I pulled up. So I was like trying to reach my group isn't texting the guild, chatting with the guild chat, just yell because everyone in my guild was at this raid, and raid everyone had things turned off, and I had never been to a raid before, so I didn't know how to talk in raid. /R didn't work because I replied to a message. /raid didn't work. Oh, I was panicking, because these hits would take out a huge chunk of my life. And while I could kind of heal in between the mez breaking, you would cast the mesmerize on it and it would last for a certain amount of time. It wasn't a constant thing. So yeah. So everything, and it was just like, oh, I was panicking. Everyone was still AFK in my group. And like I was trying to send private messages to my field leader, trying to do everything. I think I was in the process of installing TeamSpeak. That's how desperate I was because I had rage quit TeamSpeak at that point. But I know what happened. Oh no, wait, I had TeamSpeak, but everyone was in a different group listening, and I didn't know what to do to talk because I think everything was locked or something. I don't know. It was a setup, and I just couldn't reach anyone. And I'm finally yelling down to my parents because if I left, this whole raid could basically wipe because of this one cleric decided not to do a smart thing. So my mom's was grabbing me the phone because I didn't have a phone in my room at the time. She's pulling upstairs, grabbing me my number list because I didn't have a cell phone at then. It was long distance anyhow on the cell phones. But so she's grabbing me that so that I can call my guild leader because I happen to have her phone number. Oh, there's not going to be anything up here. That's just a bad idea. But yeah, so I'm calling her, and by the time, like literally the moment she picked up, like I'm almost dead. I see a healing, like the effects of a healing spell going off on me, and the cleric also happened to come back like a nanosecond after the healing spell. It because my guild leader, and she was all happy when she picked up. She's like, "Hey, you get my heal? Did I get you in time?" I'm like, "Yes, thank you," because like I said earlier, she had after that, 2 accidental drownings of my character, she had a tendency to keep me, just targeted. So she happened to have me targeted while they were doing all the raid things, and she noticed that my health was going down. Like, she had noticed a little bit, but she just, thought maybe I was messing around and checking something out and fell, but then she noticed it was the bigger chunks. Because I think the giant had critted me a few times, and she was just like, okay, where's my bard? Where's my bard? So she and a whole bunch of others, that's when they all like came and rescued me. But apparently, That was enough to convince that other guild that, okay, so this bard actually knows what she's doing, which is hilarious. They also asked her if it was okay if they could give me some better equipment because they're like, oh, what kind of equipment you got? I'm like, this. And they're like, yeah, we're suiting up your bard with a couple of higher level things. It was just neat. It was like a dex, chest, chainmail, and two wrist split guards that were from like. It was fun, but they're like, okay, so this bard knows what she's doing, and our cleric and her entire group AFK'd. Yeah, the group that was supposed to babysit me and keep me out of trouble. It was so funny, because they also it was a joke of how much trouble my character got into. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, trouble happens to my bard. Um, but yeah, so I am actually like going back to work. No, I'm not. A little bit. I can wiggle it, but I am going to leave this here. Um, so I don't know. Next time it'll be either this or a different game or maybe more Minecraft. I have to figure that out tonight. All right, so I will see you all next time, though. Uh, Sorry to prattle on about EverQuest, but oh well. See y'all later.